Chase Bank makes people cry. Don't do business with Chase Bank. Chase Bank has poor business policies. Chase Bank is not truthful. Chase Bank misrepresents. Chase Bank takes unauthorized money. Chase Bank charges unjust fees. Shame, shame, shame on you, Chase Bank. Here is our pathetic story. Chase Bank, you redirected our Social Security check to your bank direct deposit without our permission. Shame on you, preying on the elderly. We received a Chase mailer for a $9,000 credit line at 3.99% interest, good through April 30th, 2009, to use at our own discretion. 4 checks were included. We took advantage of this offer. Later, a credit card, that is a no-fee credit card, arrived under the same account and was to be used with the $9,000. We then received a mailer stating if we opened up a checking account, Chase Bank would give us $125. All right, I knew it was stupid. Banks just don't give you money. We didn't walk, we ran very quickly to Chase Bank, 4900 El Dorado Parkway, Frisco, Texas, to give them $100 of our money, while they added the promised $125. Ah, presto, we now have a checking account with Chase Bank, and of course their $125 donation into our spanking brand new checking account. Yummy, I could just smell the money. And on top of this, the bank employees gave us that warm and fuzzy feeling. Wow, no bank has ever given us money before. Well, that's not quite true. We will from time to time withdraw some of our own money. Dang, with the economy as it is, and Chase Bank wants to give us money? Wow, how lucky can a couple be? Okay, referring back to the $9,000 credit line we opened. Our licensed professional banker, I'm choosing not to use his name, told us we could get a 0% rate for 6 months rather than our current rate of 3.99. However, he stated that another account needed to be created. Yep, that should have been a big red bullseye to start running in the opposite direction, but obviously it wasn't. Our trusted professional stated when we receive the checking account checks to bring the checks into him, and he would take care of lowering our interest rate to 0% for 6 months. Wow, this sounds great. Chase really knows how to beat out the competition and take senior citizens' money when the old folks aren't looking. Okay, we received the checks and we're off and running to our licensed professional banker, now also known as our best friend. We handed him our new blank unsigned check. Actually, we didn't even look at the checks. He then transferred the $7,900 balance from the $9,000 limit into the new account. We go home happy campers, so we thought. And this is where everything turns into, guess what? Cow manure. My husband does his weekly online check of our accounts. And guess what? Chase charged us $39 for an over-the-limit fee and a transaction fee of $237 and a $5.82 transaction fee on the old account. All these fees were due to the creation of this new account by our trusted licensed personal banker. Yeah, the one that told us we could get a lower rate just by opening up another account. We go to Chase thinking there is a mistake. Okay, I left out the part where we called Chase about this problem. We were told they would check into it. And yep, no one got back to us, so we went to the bank to get an explanation of these fees. We talked to our trusted licensed personal banker, who was very apologetic, as we sat at his desk like 2 deer in the headlights, not totally pissed yet. The professional made a telephone call to the Chase Card Services. While he was on the line with Card Services, I asked him to explain to them this was his error, not ours. Their response was, "It's on the check." the 3% charge. When asked to see the check, he couldn't show it. Interesting. After his phone call ended, he says he wasn't aware of any changes in their policies charging fees. He then calls over the branch manager, I'm choosing not to give her name, and asks her did she know of any changes in their policy. She said no. He then proceeds to ask his fellow employees if they knew of any changes. At this point, we're batting 1,000. No one knew nothing. We asked him what was going on. He stated, "Card services told me employees were notified via email of the change in policy." Again, interesting. I guess this bank location must be on someone's less than sugar list. No one at this bank location, 4900 El Dorado Parkway, Frisco, Texas, received the change in policy email. He and the branch manager were very sorry. And yes, by now, both of them are very, very sorry as the bank that they work for. I told them we should not be penalized for whatever mistakes and or changes that go on within their banking system. I asked the branch manager to call and speak with her boss about this problem. She wasn't able to reach her district manager, but said that she would get back to us. Okay, we left pissed, but with a smile. We figured we would smile because at this point, everyone's faking it. We went to the bank a few days later. Our licensed professional banker was apologetic as usual, but he was unable to do anything about the fees. We asked if we could roll back everything prior to his opening up this new account and give back any monies. After checking with someone, he couldn't. At this time, we closed out all accounts, paying off the balance in the credit line. Yep, additional fees to close the accounts were also incurred. This is not the end of the story. Here comes the real pathetic part. Okay, our Social Security check comes up missing from its normal direct deposit location, our credit union. It's usually the hubby's check, but I'm way too young for Social Security. I've still got 2 years to go. We're on a budget and got to find this check. After several phone calls and 2 hours later, we're told by the Department of Social Security that the check had been deposited into an automatic deposit with guess who? None other than Chase Bank. Without our authorization, without our permission, and without our knowledge, they did this. How can this be? We closed out all of the accounts with Chase. We were never asked by Chase, nor did we authorize them to direct deposit the Social Security check. Is this legal? Probably not, but who cares? Just look at all that bailout money the banks are getting. When I talked to our bank professional, he had no clue as to how this happened, but did say he would take care of the problem. My parting words with him was what happens to the people who have nothing but Social Security to live on. I guess they don't eat while Chase is figuring out how they accidentally got the old person's Social Security check. Anyway, Chase Bank gave us the Social Security check back. Well, that is the money. We never got the money back for the fees. I'm not sure of how the Social Security check got redirected. I can only just guess. But I should add that I do believe our licensed personal banker wasn't aware of any policy changes. He remained professional. What Chase has done, well, is the Human Resources Department is hire an employee who works hard on trying to please the customer, even when the policies are not ethical. Oh, forgot to mention the district manager who chose not to give his phone number and or email address is Wesley Hartman, North Dallas New Build District. He doesn't like to talk to the customer. Why else would the people who work for him refuse to give his number and email address? Perhaps it's too many complaints to handle from treating senior citizens the way we were treated. Are you tired of your bank treating you like cow manure? Report banks that operate in bad faith to the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. They oversee banks such as Chase. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency charters, regulates, and supervises all national banks. It also supervises the federal branches and agencies of foreign banks. Headquartered in Washington, D.C., the OCC has 4 district offices plus an office in London to supervise the international activities of national banks.
You can reach one of the OCC Customer Assistance Specialists by calling their toll-free number 1-800-613-6743, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's Central Time, or you can send them an email to customer.assistance@occ.treas.gov. Again, that's customer.assistance@occ.treas.gov. Thank you for listening.